Hey guys, I got a PM from a guy asking me how I do mouth calling, and it's actually not that hard. I recommend using a open reed call versus the ones that are enclosed where the reeds are inside of the tube. This is an open reed call, so you have the reeds that are exposed right here. This one has 2 reeds in it. Doesn't really matter, I have a bunch of both, single reeds and double reeds, and a bunch of different ones. They all make a different sound. These are rabbit in distress calls. You can also use it as a coyote in distress call. I'll show you that in a second. I find these a lot better because you can change everything so much. The pitches and the raspiness of the call. So a basic rundown of these things is that this part goes in your mouth, your lips go onto this part of the call. The further your lips are up on the call, the deeper the sound. The further down here, the higher pitch the sound. And you use a range of notes from here all the way to here. A small demonstration of this is if you put your mouth all the way on the call, it's fairly deep. It's raspy. If you put your mouth at the tip of the call, it's higher. So as you go and start calling, you want to change your position of your lips from the front to the back and create different sounds. You can start off just by practicing just single notes. That's how I started anyway, until you get used to it. So you can start out from the front. It's just like playing a musical instrument essentially, but you just don't have as many notes. Then you can get on to the actual distress part of it, which is a learning curve, I guess, for some, but you can blow short bursts of air across them. It's almost like a duck call. And then you combine that with your hand by muffling it. Sounds like a baby crying. Wah. That wah sound, that's what you're doing with your hand. That's just one note. Combine that with the bursts. And you just progressively get more and more tones out of it. I find it using an electric caller repeats itself over and over and over and over again, whereas with a mouth call you can change the sound of the animal depending on what it's doing. If it's slowly dying, if it's excited, it's in a panic mode. And by doing that, you're creating a realistic sound that it's been hurt, it's panicking for a minute, and then it's slowly starting to die off. You don't get that sometimes with the electronic collars. It comes on at a consistent rate of distress. So do I use electric collars? Yes, but I don't necessarily use them all the time. Today I went out and hunted, had 2 coyotes come in and just using mouth calls. And I can play the sound as quiet as I want or as loud as I want at a heartbeat. I don't have to be fumbling around with electronic controllers and all that stuff, so I tend to use that. Now with this, you can also use it as a coyote in distress call. So after I shot and wounded one, using the end of it, it's a yelp. It's like, for a lack of a better term, it's like you've heard a dog. You've heard dogs get in fights, or you've seen a guy kick a dog. I don't kick my dogs, but they'll yelp, and you get a. So it's middle of the reed, and then pulling the reed out of your mouth as fast, pretty quickly, and that will give you a yelp. So after I've shot and hit one, I'll go into a distress. So that's imitating one being injured, and a lot of times if there's a follower or one in behind it, it will come to see what's happened to his buddy. Very effective for getting multiple dogs. Not so much for stopping them. Usually a quick bark will stop them out of your mouth, but anyway, that's a brief rundown on an open reed call for those guys who are just getting into it. If you have any questions, you can always message me and I can try to help you out as best as I can. It's not hard to do. It's a lot easier than, say, the learning curve of like a diaphragm call in your mouth. If you guys want to learn how to do a diaphragm call, I can do that as well. I do carry a diaphragm call in my mouth, and I can bark with it and do a lot of different coyote sounds with it as well. But anyway, that's a quick tutorial on open reed calls. Thanks, guys.